Well, let's get started then with Market Fatafat. Our team of research analysts as well as Rajesh Palviya are with us on the technicals. So let's get started, Mubina, by talking about the first stock that's buzzing in trade today, and that's JSPL. What's the reason?
Well, a lot of these metal and mining names have been buzzing today. In fact, it is that counter that's one of the top gainers in trade. JSPL, for one, as well, has been rallying. In fact, yesterday as well was when we did see that significant rise come by in JSPL. Today, the gains are being extended. Now, mind you, just yesterday we had Citi coming out with a very bullish note as they believe that there is a lot of room for improvement when it comes to the EBITDA, the cash flow generation as well. Today too, PL has a buy stance on JSPL. They also have a target placed at about 349 rupees. A substantial upside is what they are expecting from the current market price.
Okay, that's a word coming in from the brokerage house PL, and the stock is active. Meantime, Everest Industries, let's quickly check in as to what that stock is up to in trade today. We speak, it's holding out quite smartly, continuing its move from yesterday. Rajesh, what's the technical take?
Yeah, Everest Industry has formed a bullish engulfing pattern in the previous trading session, and now stock is trading above 436 level. So I feel that this pullback action should continue towards 475, 480 level. So one can keep 436 as a stop loss for upside target of 480 on the higher side.
Some important levels to map out on Everest Industries. Meantime, ICICI Bank is a newsmaker. The ET Now exclusive that we broke. The board is looking to settle the case against Chanda Kochar. In fact, they are exploring options for filing a consent plea, sending feelers to SEBI over the same. And remember, the order wants to avoid any prolonged adjudication proceedings. And remember, SEBI had begun that just last week. So attempts to completely iron out the matter are being taken by the bank. The stock is holding out by 2.5%. Let's focus in on McLeod Russell, another newsmaker today, Pranay.
Yes, they've sold some tea gardens for about 141 crore rupees, taking the divestment of non-core assets this week itself to about 475 crore. This was most needed because there is quite a bit of debt on the company's books, and they have to reduce that because it's been weighing down on the profitability, as we had seen in the Q4 results. So despite this positive development, the stock is still trading lower in today's session.
Okay, looking a little bit tempered in the session as we speak, as Pranay said. But what certainly isn't is IT. Infosys stands out, and Pankaj, fairly positive commentary on the sidelines of the Morgan Stanley conference.
Absolutely, that's the key takeaway, that the CEO spoke over there. He spoke about the business as usual, maintained the commentary that margins would be maintained and there would be no slippages on the margin front. The stock is at a 2-year high. Renewed buying interest seen with the volumes being higher, 1.5% higher.
There you have it. That stock is active in trade. Well, we're back above 10,800, 400 points piled on the Sensex, and the broader end of the market is looking very cheery with the small cap index at the highest point of the trading day. In light of that, what are the stocks you should watch out for? Well, let's pull up REC in trade and tell you the technical take. This stock is doing splendidly well with a 5% up move. Is the momentum here to stay, Rajesh?
Yeah, if you look at the longer term time frame, the REC is in in the downtrend, but the stock was oversold territory, and we have witnessed bounce back action from its low around 107. So we can say like its stock has formed around double bottom formation around 107 level. So as of now, 107 is a critical level for positional trade. For short term trading point of view, 113 is the important level. If the stock holds above this level, then I feel that stock can continue towards 120, 121, which is the next hurdle for the stock. So 113 should be the stop loss for upside target of 121, 122.
121 on the upside, that's what you can watch out for in REC. Meantime, HUL is in focus on the back of the analyst meet. What have been the key takeaways, Vivek?
Well, HUL, a lot of concerns going into the company, given the fact that there's been a lot of competition from online retailers. But however, HUL, even in the numbers that came by in the quarterly results, volumes are quite good. Company continues to hold out steady margins despite so much of the commodity prices rising. But the one thing that was the key takeaway for most of the analysts was the fact that the company's two digital offerings, one of them named Jarvis, it's actually helped the company be very agile in terms of matching competitors' prices, and also in terms of analyzing the entire warehouse and inventory history of the company, which is why if you're looking at what most of the brokerages are saying, they've actually come out with a very bullish tone, very bullish stance. They believe further upside can be seen as far as HCL is concerned. Look at the stock up over 1.5% in the session today.
What a smart mover. That's HUL. Lending is a helping hand to the index as well. Moving right on, let's focus in on Quest Corp, and that stock's in news. The board had a meeting and now they're looking to sell 74% stake in Inticor. Not just that, it's been in the news of late as they are acquiring further 8% stake in Simpliance Technologies. And remember, it's been on the brokerage radar. Edelweiss as well has been bullish on the stock. They've got a buy rating with a target price at 13.15. A nice 4% move. We're keeping it with all the buzzing stocks in trade, and yet again, Mubina, it's a stock from the metal space that catches your eye, clearly shining away.
Oh yeah, like I said, metal stocks have been doing very well. The underlying base metal prices as well have been quite strong. We did see aluminium prices run up a good 1.5% yesterday in trade, but however, there's another trigger for Hindalco, and that's in relation to Goldman Sachs having a buy stance with the target maintained at 290 rupees as they appreciate the fact that the company's focus is on high return value-added products.
Meantime, let's focus in on what's buzzing in the mid-cap end of the market and what are the trends on India Cements, Siddharth.
One, you need to understand that cement stocks were underperforming, and not just mid-cap but even large-cap names like Ambuja, ACC. In fact, last series was really bad for cement space. But unlike a large cap, India Cement didn't form any major short positions in last series, and rollovers were also pretty okay. Now what we are seeing in today's trading session is on very high volumes, both in cash as well as futures, and with some formation of long position, India Cement is moving higher. So this is not a short covering rally in India Cement because there were not many shorts at first place, and this is formation of long. So keep eye on the stock for decent upside.
Okay, watch out for India Cements on the upside. Meantime, let's talk about Tata Power. That's the 11th stock, Pranay. It's flattened out a bit.
Yes, the Deutsche Bank and brokerages like them have come out reiterating the buy call. They've actually even raised the target to 106 because of the change in strategy of the company to go in for asset-light growth versus their earlier asset-heavy phase that they were in. They're also looking to divest some non-core projects, will not be acquiring any stressed new thermal power projects, and want to increase the share of renewable power to about 40 to 50% from the current less than 30%. So that's what the management has said, and therefore Deutsche Bank has reiterated the buy call.
Okay, that's Deutsche Bank, but to Macquarie's view, and what's on their radar is Ujjivan Finance, right, Pankaj?
Right, Ujjivan Finance is a space which is, or rather microfinance as the entire space is buzzing today. You have Macquarie, which has initiated coverage on Bandhan Bank and Ujjivan. Ujjivan since morning looking good. The key takeaway is they are expecting the entire MFI business to recover after the entire issues of demonetization as well as GST. There is a cyclical recovery that they are seeing in the MFI business.
Okay, let's shift gears then and talk about IGL. And Vivek, why is it in the news?
Well, there could be an extremely big trigger for most of these natural gas companies. There are reports that suggest that natural gas could come under the GST in the next cabinet meeting. A lot of brokerages have come out with notes on this particular update, and they say that if this particular report does appear and does happen, the one thing that will happen is the amount of penetration of natural gas inside the country, and also the key beneficiary would be names like IGL as well as MGL. On the back of that, given the fact that this particular news could be a significant volume driver, we are seeing the stock surge quite smartly during the session today.
13 number is lucky for IGL. That could be a big boost for the stock and the sector as a whole. Moving on right back to IT and pull up HCL Infosystems. And what's the news here, Pranay?
Well, the distribution of Apple iPhone and other products will be going off the company's pact from March 2019. It's a very important institutional client for the company, and they will now have to rely on others. As it is, we've seen decline in sales from not just other mobile clients but also computer hardware and peripherals. So it will be quite some work for them to offset the sales decline or impact that they would see from March 2019. That's the news for HCL Info.
Okay, let's move on to the other pillar of strength in the market, and that no doubt is banks. What's going on with Axis Bank, Siddharth?
Well, one of the largest contributor when it comes to Bank Nifty and Nifty today in terms of positive side. If you look at Axis Bank, it has been consolidating. Today we are seeing decent volume as well as open interest activity. There is formation of long position. Interestingly, it has given a lot of respect to its 200 DMA, and it is moving substantially away from that level, clearly citing that this is a positive trend which is developing for Axis Bank and which would eventually lead to Bank Nifty also doing well.
Okay, yes indeed. That's a big support, pillar of support for our markets today. That's Axis Bank quoting at 550 almost. What exactly is V2 Retail up to in trade today? Well, it's certainly in focus as MK has got a very positive report, Pankaj.
Right, the stock is not reacting to the report, but MK has initiated coverage on V2 Retail. Their target price is 590 rupees, which is focusing in on a still 40% sort of move. They are expecting huge growth. 52% is the sort of CAGR growth that they believe will continue till FY20.
Strong growth projected for the company, but the stock is not taking heed today at all. Meantime, what's going on with the world of autos? Well, it's seeing a smart breakout, that is Tata Motors, after the last 5 straight days of consolidation. Is it time to bet on strong growth here, Rajesh?
Yeah, stock was in oversold territory and it has managed to give the breakout of last 5 days consolidation. Stock was consolidating range of 280, 290. Now stock has given the breakout. So I feel that if stocks continues to hold about 293, 295 level, then possible upside we can see towards 308, 315, which is likely to act as a major hurdle, because if you look at the short to medium term chart, the indicators are still in the negative territory. So I feel that supply pressure would be there on the higher side around 308, 315 level.
Okay, time to bet on Tata Motors. Clearly look out for strong levels on the upside. Moving on, let's chat about what's going on in the world of media, and PVR is an exhibition stock that is making quite the move today. In fact, there's been some positive news. They are opening 5 screens and multiplex screens in Vellore, Tamil Nadu. In fact, this is going to be a multiplex screen that will be equipped with classic Dolby 7.1 surround system, as well as 3D generation screens, and this will mean that it operates the largest multiplex network with a total of 630 screens across 52 cities. No wonder then the stock is upbeat. Moving on, we spoke about Tata Motors. What's the call on Maruti? Quite a stable performer in trade today. Is it a good time to buy, Rajesh?
Yeah, we have witnessed very good consolidation, very strong consolidation action we have seen in the Maruti in the range of 8400, 8650 kind of level, and now stock has managed to cross above its 50 DMA level at 8850 level. So I feel this momentum should continue towards 9050 and 9100 level on the higher side. So one can keep a stop loss of 8850 for their long position, and stock is looking very promising at the current juncture. I feel that momentum should continue towards 9100, even higher from those levels.
Comfortably above the 50 DMA, and you heard out Rajesh, there is momentum on the upside. 9100 could be on the cards. Well, this is Market Fatafat and we're giving you all of the buzzing stocks in trade. So let's get down to number 20, Mubina. Federal Bank, what's the view from brokerages?
Well, this one has been attributed to being one of the better performing smaller and mid-cap names, and that was evident in their results as well. Posted a decent uptick in their NI growth compared to many. In fact, it was able to outperform. We have ICICI Securities, meantime, which has a buy on the counter with a target at 105 rupees. So a significant uptick of almost about 20 odd rupees expected from the current point of 85. The stock today is higher by about 2%.
Oh yes, indeed. Looks like everything is pretty upbeat in trade today, Federal Bank included. Meantime, to the world of hospitality and check in on Lemon Tree Hotels. In fact, there's a pact going on for some of their room expansions. Let's find out. Vivek has the details. Vivek?
Well, that's right. This is a recent listing, and this particular stock has done quite well ever since it listed. In fact, in the run-up to the listing, we actually saw a lot of the hotel stocks too running up to catch up with the valuation of this particular name. Lemon Tree, although is not failed by competition, what this particular company has done is that it's gone ahead and signed an agreement to develop a property in Madhya Pradesh, and the property is going to have in excess of 300 rooms. So given the fact that this actually indicates future revenue potential, the street is cheering this particular move. Stock is up about 3% in the session today.
Oh, clearly that is a smart mover in trade today. Moving right on then, what is gaining by close to 1% is Siddharth Infra. Pranay, run us through their fundraising plans.
Well, they're planning to raise close to about 3,200 crore rupees, out of which 190 is going to be via debentures. The rest will have some equity component. This is largely to fund a slew of projects that they have on their execution plate for the next couple of years. The order book is pretty robust and visibility is strong for the next couple of years. So basically just to fund some of those projects, they'll be going for this fundraising.
Okay, from fundraising plans, it's robust commentary for Balkrishna Industries. The stock may be a little bit flat nonetheless, but Vivek, it's been fairly positive from the management standpoint.
Well, the management has gone and met a lot of analysts. Recently, they went to the Phillip Capital conference, and if you're talking about Balkrishna Industries, the numbers this time were slightly subdued, given the fact that higher input costs have actually dented their margins. But what the company is saying is that demand, there has been absolutely no downtrend as far as the demand is concerned. They believe that the higher commodity prices is actually helping the company gain more demand from the US market, and they believe that this is something that is going to aid volumes going ahead. Stock is reasonably upbeat in the session today, however not a great mover.
Not a great mover, but what is a great mover in trade today is Adani Enterprises, 6% higher on that stock. What exactly is the volume activity looking like? And Siddharth, give us a sense of the F&O action.
Well, it's competing with Just Dial and REC for the top slot when it comes to F&O stocks in gainers list. If you clearly look at volumes, then today cash volumes can be at a 1 month high. They are not yet, but looking at the way volumes are happening, it might easily happen so. If you look at futures data, then there too, volumes have crossed previous day's volume, and there's 10% rise in open interest, and needless to mention, when stock is up by 6%, and with such high volumes and open interest of 10%, that means it's long position. Stock has been in a downward trend. This is a sign of reversal taking place.
Yeah, but whether it's sustainable or not maintains to be seen. Nonetheless, Adani Enterprises sure is a buzzer in trade today. Moving right on, let's find out what's going on in the infrastructure space. And you've got GMR Infra flexing its muscles, Pankaj.
Right, the stock is up 3% right now after a positive note as far as IDFC is concerned. They maintain their outperformer. They are saying that the airport business continues to see strength. They believe that the real estate that the company owns in and around the airport will be a huge monitorable, 16.5%. 3% higher for GMR. It generally does not see a lot of volumes, but today volume action is pretty good.
Okay, volumes are strong, price action strong, markets are strong, so this stock is clearly buzzing away in trade. It's a smart peg as well, which is keeping the stock active. Let's find out what else is buzzing away in the session as we are giving you a lowdown of all the stocks that are making the headlines and seeing smart technical trends. Well, Just Dial is a stock that's doing very well in trade today, one of the smart gainers on the broader end of the market. Are you seeing the stock, cross some of the crucial moving averages, Rajesh? Do you believe that as of now it's a good time to enter?
Yeah, if you look at the Just Dial has in the consolidation mode since last 5-6 trading session, but now in the today's trade we have seen around 5% kind of gain, and the stock is holding all its important moving average. If you look at the open interest data, also 16% kind of open interest addition we have seen in the today's trade also, and even if you look at the June series accumulation, good accumulation has been witnessed in the Just Dial. So I feel that if stocks continues to hold above 525 level, then possible upside target we can see towards 580 and 600 in the short term.
Okay, watch out for a level of 580 to 600 on the upside. Just Dial, as we speak as well, is perking up in the session. That's no small move. It's 5% already built up on the stock. Meantime, let's check in on Canara Bank, and that stock is a newsmaker in trade today. In fact, not for the right reasons. The company has been fined in the UK for anti-money laundering breaches. It's close to $1.2 million that the company has been fined, and they've also been blocked from accepting new deposits for next 5 months. This is for systemic anti-money laundering failures. Canara Bank, though, has said that they have resolved the problems. The stock got off on a fairly tempered move, now has managed to pick up some steam in tandem with the rest of the market, quoting at 263. Well, from banks to metals, let's find out how SAIL is shaping up in trade today. And that stock as well has got a thumbs up on the technical charts from you, Rajesh. It's a nice 5% up move at 80. What's the technical call?
See, SAIL has given the breakout of its last 4-5 week consolidation mode, and even if you look at the pattern, it has managed to give breakout of its down sloping trend line breakout on the weekly chart, and now stock is trading above the breakout level of 78. Even if you look at the derivative data, 8% kind of open interest addition also seen in the today's trade also, and strong volume are there in the counter. So I feel that if stock crosses this 81-82 level, then possible momentum can be seen towards 85 to 86 on the high side. So for stop loss point of view, 78 should be the stop loss for trading for 1 to 2 days kind of time frame.
And finally, nailing it down to the last two buzzing stocks on Market Fatafat. From sale, it's future retail that's in focus on the back of some bulk deals that took place, Mubina.
Oh yeah, this morning we did see about 5 blocks in future retail, wherein about 5.9% of the equity changed hands. Now sources tell us that it was Premji Invest perhaps who has bought into the company. And do remember, just about 2 days ago we did have a report talking about the fact that Premji Invest, which is naturally the family office of Wipro Chairman Azim Premji, being in talks to invest about $250 million in future group. And remember, this is coming all in the midst of the fact that there was Amazon, which was looking to pick up about a 10% stake in future retailer. Now it looks like, it's Premji Invest who has decided to show some interest in future retail. However, the stock price, while it showed a significant spike down when the bulk deals did take place, we did have the promoters denying that they have sold any stake in the company. But for now, what we're picking up from sources is that Premji Invest, the stock, however, has bounced back from the day's low.
No clarity regarding the same, but that's what we're hearing on the street. Future retail, though, is tempered off in trade right now. Well, the markets are holding out at 10,800. What's the last stock on Market Fatafat? Well, that is NIIT Tech. And Siddharth, why is it buzzing on F&O data?
Some backdrop before today's data. From a stock has moved in last 1 year from almost 400 levels to 1200. That's substantial return in 1 year, and we know that all IT stocks have been doing well. And what has happened that in last few months there were a lot of long positions which got created and stock was doing well. In month of May, most of the IT companies have been sideways, and in that sideways moment, NIIT Tech has reduced lot of open interest, and the rollovers are also less. That means most of the long traders have squared off their position. And the beginning of June series was not that well. You saw a sharp correction 2 days before and very strong build up. Seems to be short build up, but yesterday and today we are seeing some formation of long positions. So all that mid-cap IT rally which we were talking, most of the traders who have made lot of money by going long and then they have booked profits, and now fresh traders, if they are coming, the risk reward ratio may not be in favor to create fresh longs over here. But certainly last 2 days some long positions are there, but don't expect repeat of the performance what you saw last year.
1,062 on NIIT Tech on last count. But with that, to the entire team, thanks guys for joining in, and Rajesh for giving us your valuable technical input. We're completely out of time on the show, but I want to remind our viewers that we have a special show coming up at 5:30 p.m. today. It's the Home Buyer Special with the